Louisville, one of 3 ranked teams in the ACC, and trying to grab a big one here tonight. Awesome atmosphere at the Yum Center, where more than 10,000 are expected for a stripe out. Anaya Hardy gets the start for Louisville, and she wins the tap to Taijianna Roberts, the sophomore leading scorer for this Cardinals team. At 7-2 overall, 1-0 in the ACC, and there is a lob to Hardy to start her first career start.
Yeah, and it was a lob, and I do just want everyone to know at home, Anaya Hardy can dunk. The lob was for the layup, but she is an incredible leaper and athlete. That's a great start for Louisville. See the starters for the Gamecocks. Tania Latson, 17 a game, 19 a game for Joyce Edwards. She was money with that baseline jumper against Duke last week. It's so fun watching Joyce Edwards expand her game. See the starters for Louisville. You've got Roberts and Siegler, the top 2 scorers, and McKinley Randolph, sophomore forward, who this year has moved into the starting lineup. Tessa Johnson, known for her outside shot. Easton Balolu in the corner. She's pressured out there by Medina Okote. And a traveling Jeff Walls, 19 years at the helm. We told you 7-2 overall, preseason number 20. Those losses against number 1 UConn. Raven Johnson, the 5th-year senior point guard, left it short, and a good block out by Easton Balolu. It was great defense. Siegler switching out onto the perimeter, but finishing with a box out and rebound is huge against South Carolina. How about the rip and drive from Easton Balolu? 6'3" junior from Turkey. First year as a starter. Quickly back the other way. Tessa Johnson gets the roll, and she is a real X factor. See what she did against Texas. She was so productive in the first half. That was last week in Vegas for South Carolina, who was battle-tested there. Roberts, the long runner, and gets the friendly roll. One leg as well. Latson the catch. She moved it. Johnson, good eyes underneath, and Okote couldn't finish. On Taijianna Roberts for Kentucky, who has a lot of length. It was a good challenge for Taijianna Roberts and helped prepare her to face South Carolina. Hardy goes to the bench for Louisville, and Raina Scott comes off the bench, and Easton Balolu. Starts have been so important for Louisville. Sometimes, by Jeff Walls' own admission, they've been slow out of the gates. Okote walked with it underneath. Don Staley learned a lot about her team in really high-pressure games. Good win against Duke last Wednesday, and then a 2-point loss against Texas. Weak side putback not there for Randolph, and the Gamecocks push with Raven Johnson. In transition, Edwards moves it, lets in the catch and release. Left it short, offensive rebound, Tessa Johnson, and the stick back. And that's where South Carolina is dangerous, the offensive glass. And then Siegler in transition. And she's a player that Don Staley said kind of likes to fly under the radar. They love when she is aggressive and not deferring. Edwards underneath. Okote, another offensive rebound. Maintained her footing for 2. Anyone on the floor. Started playing basketball at 17, but very naturally gifted. And now 4 years of college, and you saw 6 double-doubles. How about this start from Alif Easton Balolu, who averages 8 a game, and she already has a half dozen. Has been getting to the rim, spent time with the Turkish national team this summer. The staff thinks that gave her a lot of confidence. And speaking of confidence, Tessa Johnson, the best 5 minutes I've seen from her this season. Easton Balolu is feeling it. Randolph the offensive rebound. Taijianna Roberts being hawked by stud defender and Raven Johnson. Around the screen, long 2, got it to go. Raven Johnson going underneath the ball screen. That was a nice job by Taijianna Roberts at pulling up behind it. Is that how you want to defend her on ball screens? You know, it's tough because she likes to get into the paint and get that mid-range, but she's also a capable shooter behind the screen. We could see South Carolina adjust. Okote, good hands underneath, and that is part of the upside that is so tantalizing about her. Great hands, but also great find from Raven Johnson, leading Okote to the basket, put the ball right where it needed to be. Mid-range for Raina Scott. 16 all, 6 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Okote, 6'6" senior from Kenya, draws a foul. Medina Okote showing her potential. Such a high ceiling, puts the ball on the floor. Tough take by McKinley Randolph. She also felt like there were very obvious aspects of the game that her team needs to improve on. And so sometimes it's great for a coach to see what's glaring at you. Show some pressure back up into his zone. Yeah, interesting here. Coach Staley telling her team to go into this zone defense, try and limit the paint touches that were happening early. Shot fake, Scott hangs and hits in the mid-range.
Great shot fake, getting into that mid-range pull-up game. Raina Scott is a player that Jeff Walz feels like is more confident coming off the bench than in the starting lineup, and it showed in her numbers.
Senior who transferred in from Oklahoma. She's out on Raven Johnson. Edwards for Latson. Back to Edwards. So smooth in the mid-range. Here's Siegler. She's been a leader for Louisville. Good backdoor cut from Roberts. Shot clock winding down. Berry buries it. And is Louisville's third leading scorer. Locked at 21, a high-scoring first. Latson was met in the air by Hardy. Skylar Jones, the Arizona transfer in off the bench, 23 in white for the first time here in the first. Siegler stretching Okote out toward the perimeter. Pick and pop, Siegler. Can't connect from deep. Hardy soars for the offensive rebound and stick back.
That's the advantage of having Laura Siegler be able to knock down the three, because it pulls Medina Okote away from the basket.
And then Jones the strip and the lay-in. Edwards the catch from Raven Johnson.
That comes from being so experienced, and that's Raven Johnson.
And right as this crowd had got so alive inside the Yum Center. And then Scott the miss, but she got it back as Hardy battled. Berry cuts, missed the floater. About a 13.5-second difference between game and shot clocks here at the end of the first quarter. Good catch from Okote, who got the seal on Hardy. And so Louisville can hold for the final shot here in the first. A high-scoring affair in this first as Edwards poked it away from Scott. Joyce Edwards lays it in. Still 5 seconds to work with for Louisville. Berry had it poked away by Latson. Got it back, got it off, and comes up empty to close the first quarter.
Misses playing, loves being around her teammates, but I thought it was interesting. She said, "I'm not sad."
What amazing perspective that is.
Absolutely.
Senior multi-year starter for South Carolina. Honorable mention All-American last year. So, eventful first quarter, the highest scoring first quarter in the ACC SEC Challenge so far. Skylar Jones, no. Latson the rebound.
And what's interesting, we mentioned Agat McKeer not being here and making the trip. She's usually one of the first players off the bench for South Carolina. Dawn Staley played her starters the entire first quarter. Jeff Walz went to his bench, so we'll see how that comes into play late in the game.
And a taxing up and down first quarter at that. This is Adele Tack in off the bench here to begin the second for South Carolina. Shot clock winding down on Tessa Johnson, who got fouled by Skylar Jones.
You're going right into her shooting hand, her shooting arm. That's going to be a foul every time.
Tomorrow night, ESPN2 and the ESPN app. Couple teams looking to get back on track against North Carolina. 7 o'clock Eastern time Friday on ESPN2.
Bulolu had a couple of drives early.
Scott got to the mid-range. Offensive rebound. Fresh 20 for the Cards. Easton Bulolu bumped by Tack. Battle-tested Louisville team like we talked about. You were there for the Armed Forces Classic in Annapolis against #1 UConn. Lost that one by 13. Squared off with Kentucky as well. Both games, some late pushes from Louisville.
Louisville felt like they had nothing to lose in the fourth quarter.
Edwards up and down. Tack. Man at the rim. But a foul called. Getting minutes here for Medina Okote.
Adele Tack had really good minutes and needed to find some more minutes for her out on the floor. And you see she's getting in this game early.
She is a joy, by the way, to listen to speak in any setting. Not trying to find their touch again offensively. Roberts came up to get it. Shot clock below 10 for Louisville. The hesitation, the kick. Scott with the shot clock winding down. Off the bounce. Bakes it in! Now Tanaya Latson, scoreless so far. She only took 2 shots, both in the first. Raven Johnson knocks it down. Finding scoring from other places.
Because a score like that, you just expect her to figure it out. You expect her to find the rim because she's such an elite scorer.
Trying to hang with Roberts in the mid-range. That's what Don Staley said to us as well at shoot-around today. In their conversations in the portal, Taijianna Roberts was so clear she wanted to be a better pro. Against the zone, Isla McDowell, the freshman, knocks it down.
One, you're up 5. I know Coach talked about it doesn't feel like they're up 5. Coach McGraw in the studio. It doesn't feel like it, but everyone contributing while Taijianna Roberts hasn't found her shot.
Istanbuloglu carries the 3. She's got 10.
Competing on the glass, she's attacked off the bounce, knocked down 3s, so a balanced scoring attack and then competing defensively.
Coates was dealing with the front, and she draws a foul. To spread out South Carolina, why is that so important with how good they are defensively?
They have so much size and length, even altered shots. You know, I watch teams against South Carolina, and they shoot so quickly because they feel rushed. And it's because it feels like South Carolina's on top of you, the way they play defense.
But within a possession here against zone again from the Gamecocks. The skip to Roberts. She sticks the 3.
It's exactly how you attack a zone, Mike. Get the ball to the middle.
Coat walks with it, and it's back to Louisville. 9 for Roberts on 4 of 6 shooting. Preseason all ACC after averaging last year as a freshman 13 a game. Was second team all conference in the ACC. Istanbuloglu. Back iron this time, and Raven Johnson the rebound. Inside of 3 to go until halftime. Latson in transition. Playing off 2 feet with a fall away, and she gets the roll. And Latson said to us today, I need to make shots. Offensive foul.
Defensive mobility is something that a lot of 6'6" centers aren't able to do, and it limits them at the next level. In the WNBA, you have to be able to do that.
Michael Vopel's got Okote 10th in the mock draft so far, and Okote, she might not get out of the top 5 according to Don Staley. Back the other way, Roberts missed it. Okote the rebound. She has been an automatic double-double. Raven Johnson in transition. Pull-up pop for 2 more. And Jeff Walz wants a timeout.
That LSU offense is serious.
LSU has put up at least 100 in all 8 games so far. Louisville looking for a bucket here. It's a 6-0 run for South Carolina after it was 37-all. Shot clock winding down. Elif Istanbuloglu. Fall away against Okote, and that falls as well. She's got a dozen. Raven Johnson, Tessa Johnson, Joyce Edwards, Isla McDowell, and Taijianna Roberts, the 5 on the floor for Don Staley. Latson backdoor on Randolph. Backed it out for Raven Johnson. Looking for somewhere to go, and she gets it to go. Ziegler does not get it off in time, and South Carolina carries a 6-point lead into halftime.
You heard them talk about at halftime how Tessa Johnson's 3-point shooting opens up driving lanes because defenders run out at her to defend the 3, and she's still able to get into the paint. The question for the second half, which team's defense is going to make a stand and start to dictate?
And I know you want to see for Louisville, can they put together 2 halves like this? Can they do 40 minutes as Latson scores to start? And big possessions early on in the 3rd for Louisville. Taijianna Roberts had 9 points, 3 assists in the first half. Raven Johnson had the block. Ziegler trying to get going, too strong.
And the question stands for Louisville, especially in this 3rd quarter. Not to bring up old stuff for Louisville fans, but in the Kentucky game, it's a 2-point game at halftime. Louisville was outscored 20-6 in the 3rd quarter against Kentucky, and the game got away from them.
And just like this, 5 immediately from Taijianna Roberts.
Taijianna Roberts said she's more aware defensively. Competes harder on that side.
Good compete on the offensive glass for Louisville, and a much-needed triple falls for Taijianna Roberts. The consummate point guard for South Carolina. Edwards got free, was met at the rim by Istanbuloglu.
Nice job by Istanbuloglu going straight up on defense.
Drop off Roberts. Cans another.
Good answers from Louisville with their leading scorer. It stays with South Carolina. Siegler a little bit slow to get up on this baseline drive from Latson. Head to head.
Oh, that's tough. And still, out here on the floor, Jeff Walz has talked about Siegler and said she's an elite person. Just such high character, extremely fun to be around. Her presence is huge.
Tessa Johnson swirls one out, but an offensive rebound from Okoth. She had 10 points in the first half. Latson was looking for Edwards, now summons a ball screen. Hard hedge from Istanbulolu. Edwards was met there by Roberts defensively. Skylar Jones on the Euro, lays it in. And so South Carolina stays up by 3. Latson left alone. Couldn't make Louisville pay, but Okoth can.
But that's the length of McDowell. The tip on the ball to get it to Okoth to finish.
You said it, pro body, and then Jones driving left off the right side. She gets fouled. But then McDowell, she was the number 15 recruit in the country.
That affects your rotations a little bit more, as asked from everyone else, anytime anyone is not on the floor.
We saw Kit's sideline. So with that, Raven Johnson, who's got it now, the only returning starter for South Carolina. Skylar Jones, 1 of 4 from the stripe on consecutive trips. Okoth got the seal on Istanbulolu. She has been outstanding after transferring in from Mississippi State. 14 and 11 per game. The seas parted for Raina Scott. And now a freshman mistake from Isla McDowell, stepping over the baseline. So a couple extra possessions for Louisville these last few trips down the floor. Around the screen, Istanbulolu, driving dish for Raina Scott. Hesitation, playing off 2 feet, tough turnaround, no. Offensive rebound, Skylar Jones with the stick back.
Offensive rebounds. South Carolina is known for them. Louisville has 10 so far in the game.
Tessa Johnson with a silencer for South Carolina. How big has she been tonight for the Gamecocks? Skylar Jones carving out space with 2 more. So bigger cause tonight. The backdrop for what has been a dandy of a game. Top 25 showdown, couple powerhouse programs, and with the shot clock winding down, it's a shot clock violation.
They have so many weapons. They can score in a multitude of ways. It's a solid defensive possession there for Louisville.
He's down by 3, searching for what would be far and away its biggest win, of course, this season. One of 3 ranked teams in the ACC. They've played a tough schedule so far. Roberts in the mid-range. Smaller ball lineup here for Don Staley. Latson yanks it back on the baseline. Met by Skylar Jones, and Latson got bumped and will shoot 2.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny that she's able to score, right? She is a high-volume scorer. I think what's special about her coming to South Carolina is, can you play in a system? Show her value at the next level beyond scoring. Getting a paint touch is important, and quality look at the basket comes from a paint touch. They can't let South Carolina push them far out beyond the 3-point line.
Roberts off the floor right now, so Amari Berry on the drive, couldn't finish with the left hand. Raven Johnson around the corner, backing down Berry, the kick for Edwards. She knocks it down. Joyce Edwards' first made 3 of her career. She was 0 for 3 last year from 3, 0 for 3 so far this year, and a timely one at that for South Carolina. And then Raina Scott gets fouled.
First 3-pointer of her career. Was 0 of 3 coming into this game. Didn't hit one last season. Steps into this with confidence. High release point, high arcing shot.
She's got bars too.
Well, that's the thing about Joyce Edwards when you watch her. She's just very unbothered, very stoic.
Scott at the line. Good on the first. BYU and Texas Tech. You've got the ACC and the SEC as well. Some important playoff implications all over the place. The starting 5 on the floor for Don Staley. Okoth matched up with Hardy. Backs it out for Edwards. Starting to get in rhythm. Edwards goes spinning into contact and draws a foul on Anaya Hardy.
It's a tough take. It was a good take. Gets to the free throw line. The next step. We've already talked about her adding the three-point shot. Her ceiling is so high. Add the three-point shot and then add her development as a playmaker. WNBA scouts, which there are multiple in the building, will go absolutely crazy about Royce Edwards if they're not already doing so.
Louisville down by 5. Scott, Hardy, Easton Balolu, Jones, and Berry, the 5 on the floor for Jeff Walls. Scott with the lob. Hardy, she's in there for those types of lobs. Raven Johnson turns it over. Amari Berry at the horn to finish the third.
Louisville's hit open shots, they've hit contested shots, they have played with a level of confidence that we've yet to see from Louisville for a full 40 minutes.
Raina Scott, wide open around the corner.
For Dawn Staley, that is frustrating, the first play of the fourth quarter.
Berry digging at Okote. Berry's got the assignment on Latson, who started to rise up in the third. Met by contact, and it's an offensive foul. Scott around another screen. Lob, Hardy, couldn't finish. Boy, big roll for Anaya Hardy. First career start. Edwards in transition. That rolled out. Berry snatched it on the baseline. The Cards run. Berry in transition. Jones wants it. She's got it! Okote couldn't get it to go. Louisville runs with Scott. Berry on the drive. Can't lay it in. Tessa Johnson clears it for South Carolina. Back running with Latson. Underneath to Okote.
Nice job by Tanaya Latson.
Scott drives on Okote. Can't finish with the left hand. Tessa Johnson for the lead. Knocks it down!
And it's a 5-point swing off the missed layup. You finish that layup and you can set your defense if you're Raina Scott. A great shot by Tessa Johnson.
And then a miss, too strong in the mid-range. South Carolina from a packed KFC Yum Center. Medina Okote drops them, too strong on Hardy. Easton Balolu, left alone! Latson, off target. Scott back with it. Edwards left her. Easton Balolu spotted it. Back out for Roberts. Sticks the three!
What started out as poor spacing in transition. Raina Scott attacking baseline and then kicking it right back. Awareness of where your teammates are. Louisville's got it. Decision making on the offensive end is so important. Taj Roberts has done a great job.
We got 4+ minutes to go in the fourth. Louisville is up by 5 on the number 3 team in the country. See the day for Roberts, 20 and 4 on efficient shooting. And great, as you said, decision making. Shot clock winding down on Raven Johnson. Goes driving on Roberts, and she draws a blocking foul, averaging a career best 6.5 assists per game. Dawn Staley will tell you, going back to the year 2017 for Raven Johnson, Raven Johnson has lost 12, that's it, a dozen basketball games.
Playing with other great players, knowing who's on the floor, knowing their strength.
In the hands of Taj Roberts, hiding behind the screen. Knew it was off, and the rebound goes to Okote. Raven Johnson pushes. Finds the trailer in Okote, and it's a 1-point game.
I've seen that a couple of times in transition.
And now Now Scott probed into the mid-range and gets the roll. Got 15 points, received 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and she has played 35 minutes in this game. Off the bench, Taijianna Roberts wrapped it around for Okote. How did she find her? Louisville by 1. Inside of 2 to go in the 4th. Roberts long 2. No. Battle on the boards, and Okote's got another rebound. 20 and 12 for Medina Okote. Raven Johnson
again
feeds Okote. Gets the roll, and the Gamecocks have the lead.
Great job by South Carolina at continuing to find Okote.
Edwards pressures Easton Balolu, so Amari Berry steps in to slow things down. High ball screen rejected. All kinds of pressure from Latson. Shot clock winding down on Berry. Finds Easton Balolu. Can't hit. Rebound run down by Raven Johnson, and we hit the final minute of the 4th.
It was great on-the-ball defense from Latson.
2 timeouts remaining on both sides.
High ball screen action here for Johnson. Okote's got to roll hard.
Turns away instead. Raven Johnson still looking for somewhere to go on Berry, and she outlasts her. Huge bucket, Raven Johnson.
And making plays. This is Latson getting into the paint. Defense all goes to Latson. She's able to find Okote for the finish. It's a high pass. Okote doesn't bring it down. And then same thing here. Again, rolling right to the middle of the basket for Medina Okote. She has been phenomenal. And Berry with the stumble. Johnson using her wingspan to finish with the reverse layup.
But we still have 34 seconds to go. Louisville down by 3. Roberts to Berry. Off the bounce. Tough step back. She got fouled by Latson.
Look at that. The step back shot. That's when you just want to contest.
Is that definitive enough that it is down on the line?
After view, the toe is on the line.
Yeah.
She will attempt 2.
What are we looking at the curvature of her shoe going up, Mike?
Angsty moments for Jeff Walls. You talked about winning moments.
And if Louisville is going to get into the foul game, they want to try and foul Joyce Edwards or Raven Johnson out on the floor. So I would try to deny Tessa Johnson the ball. Such a great shooter. She has so much poise.
Tried to do just that, but Latson found the way to Tessa Johnson. They get a trap this time, and South Carolina will burn its final timeout. Medina Okote's got 22 and 12 to lead the way for South Carolina. Raven Johnson puts it in this time to Taijianna Roberts. Able to soak some time off the clock. Raina Scott guarding Latson, looking for a trap along the sideline. Latson to the deck, and it's a held ball. The arrow stays at this end.
Trying to get the steal instead of fouling. And here now you have to foul.
After 8 seconds, came off the clock. And now they're able to foul Okote.
Huge free throws here.
Only started playing basketball 5 years ago. Dripping with talent. Good on the first, and what a stroke.
Solid.
2 this time for the 6'6" Kenyan. Misses, and Hardy's got the rebound, and Louisville takes its final timeout.
You obviously want the best available shot. You can get a drive to the basket.
Taijianna Roberts has 20, Raina Scott has 15. They have both gotten to the cup. Inbounds to Hardy. Back out Roberts for 3. No! Okote on the rebound and fouled with 2.7 to go. Can't ask for anything more if you're Jeff Walls. And now Okote back to the line. Reminder, Louisville out of timeouts as Okote misses the first. Okote misses both. Hardy the rebound, trying to secure it. She fires, and that's it. South Carolina wins it on the road at Louisville in an epic
What an incredible matchup. Taj Roberts, nothing to hang her head about. Played strong, played tough, and gives South Carolina credit. One possession game down the stretch. They learned the lessons from the Texas game, applied it tonight, and got the win.